This is it, the new G.I.Joe Devilfish on a high-speed recon mission.
There's Hawk, the new Joe Commander. That's Beachhead, the Ranger.
Hey, welcome to Half the Battle.
The summer of small vehicles and playsets continues. And what says summer more than sun, the beach and the sea? And a fun activity on the sea is jetting around on a speedboat.
So we're looking at one today.
Meet the Devilfish. This vehicle was released in 1986 with all original parts.
Now I know what you're thinking.
It's a bright orange toy. Timmer's gonna throw a major tantrum again. He's gonna be complaining for hours.
But actually, no.
I'm perfectly fine with the color scheme.
I'll explain later.
For now, let's focus on the overall look. It's a pretty realistic looking speedboat. Yeah, unlike Cobra, the Joes usually had more vehicles that were based on real ones. Well, sometimes anyway. And this is a great example. Of course, ordinary speedboats aren't allowed to have guns and missiles.
The Coast Guard tends to frown upon things like that.
But the Devilfish is loaded with firepower. It's got twin guns on the front as well as 4 small missiles. But that's not all. If you turn the Devilfish upside down, you'll find a nice surprise in the form of 2 torpedoes. And I know I sound like a broken record at this point, but like all vehicles with lots of missiles, these are easily lost, so finding a complete Devilfish on the secondary market can be a frustrating or expensive experience.
The weapons aren't the only things that can get lost though.
There's something worse in that regard. The toy has very cool twin outboard engines in the back. They are connected by a fin that allows them to move sideways in unison, as well as by a hinge that lets them move up and down. This setup doesn't seem super fragile, but I'm still a little wary handling it too much. And it is the most easy thing to break on this toy.
Still, like the torpedoes, the engines have a surprise.
The covers actually come off, revealing the nicely detailed engines themselves. This thing is just full of surprises. Okay, it's just the torpedoes and the engines.
So it has two surprises. Still, that's plenty.
The downside, of course, is that those engine covers are 2 more things you can lose. Easier to lose than the missiles even, I'd say. I wanted to review this thing for years, but I was missing 1 engine cover. Then there was that whole journey of discovery in my parents' attic, and one of the treasures that turned up was that missing engine cover.
So here we are.
The engines bring us nicely to that detailing, of which there's plenty. The engines are the stars here, but there's some nice little touches, like a fuel hatch and padding on the seat, plus other machinery and nautical stuff. Overall, it's a great little vehicle. Sure, it's not gonna set the world on fire, but that's rarely the point with these small toys. There is, however, one question that needs answering.
Does it float?
Yes it does.
Oh yes, they float.
And that was the only toy the Devilfish ever got. It wasn't reissued in any of the modern lines, though in 1989 it was released in different colors as part of Tiger Force, called the Tiger Fish. But that's a different vehicle, so I won't review it here. Also, because I don't currently own one.
I'm sure I'll get one eventually. I mean, how much could it possibly... What the hell is wrong with people?
The only thing I'll say right now is that giving a boat tiger stripe camouflage seems like a phenomenally stupid idea.
Anyway, this all means that it's time to talk about the character. And we're gonna start with the name.
A devilfish is most commonly known as a type of manta ray, though other types of marine life have been called that. And it's even an outdated name for an octopus. Oh, and I don't know if this is a coincidence or not, but there was a real US Navy boat called the USS Devilfish. It was a submarine that saw action in World War II. Though a devilfish is normally a type of manta ray, the toy doesn't use that as a reference.
In fact, one of the decals suggests something much weirder.
It depicts essentially a devil merman.
Okay, strange take.
I mean, I would have maybe gone with a fish that had horns and a devil's tail, not a merman with both a fish and devil tail. 2 tails are just weird.
Moving on.
We finally come to the reason why I don't mind this thing being bright orange. It was built for speed, not stealth, and you'd want a small boat like this to be highly visible on the water, so it's easy to spot if it's in trouble and needs rescuing. So the color is perfectly logical. I think that's also why a similar vehicle from a different toy line was also orange, the Gator from Mask. It's also a nice neat little thing. Imagine Hasbro redoing that in the G.I. Joe line, an orange fam that launches a Devilfish.
Hey, I can dream.
Now we come to the question of who should be the driver. The box has Beachhead with wetsuit hanging at the side. This does seem logical, having somebody pilot the boat to get that diver to a location, so any Joe could be the pilot. But for me, I'd stick with wetsuit himself in there. It just looks more appropriate.
It's not inaccurate to have more than one person on the thing.
As aside from the seat, there are 2 foot pegs, one on either side, but it looks quite crowded and a bit silly if you put 2 figures there. The Devilfish should have been at least 30% bigger to accommodate the extra passengers. Plus, the foot pegs are right behind the missiles, so you could end up with the world's worst hot foot prank.
As far as other media go, the Devilfish was featured heavily, though never in a starring role, which is no more than logical for such a small vehicle.
Though in the comics, it did get the honor of appearing on the cover of issue 47, mimicking the box art but adding Hawk into the mix. The story sees a few Devilfish going up against hydrofoils and hydro sleds, though for some reason they're drawn to look less like the toy and more like...
Honestly?
Colonial Vipers from Battlestar Galactica. In the cartoon, they started showing up in Season 2 whenever the Joes were in the water, obviously. And of course, it was featured in a commercial, once again using Beachhead and wetsuit, as well as Hawk. That's because the commercial was based on that first comic appearance. And that was the Devilfish, a pretty awesome little boat that packs a punch. It should look great in any collection.
Next week, we're gonna be doing something completely different, but it'll be fun. Well, I'll see you next time, everybody. And hey, why not like, share, and subscribe if that's your thing?
This is it, the new G.I. Joe Devilfish on a high-speed recon mission.
There's Hawk, the new Joe Commander. That's Beachhead, the Ranger. And that's Wetsuit.
Devilfish has 2 torpedoes and twin guns on top, and they're gonna need it.